What is up, everybody? DanDanTheFireman here, and we're gonna go over some reasons why cars are actually better than motorcycles. I did a video on why motorcycles are better than cars. I felt it was a little unfair to all the people that identify as cars, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about cars and why I actually prefer to drive sometimes than ride this beast of a machine. Before I jump into it, make sure you check out the Motorcycle Beginner's Guide over at motorcyclebeginnersguide.com. It'll set you up. It's 50 plus pages, and it will set you up on how to start riding. Anyways, let's jump into it. First of all, if you are in an area where it rains, snows, super windy, super hot, riding it in a car, driving in a car is a lot better than riding a motorcycle. I'm going to tell you that right now. We have to deal with rain down here. I think it's actually raining out on Mount Lemon right now, but we also deal with extreme heat. Now, there's ways to mitigate a lot of that stuff. Once again, I'm a little bit biased towards motorcycles. It's a little bit of ways to mitigate it. I got mesh gear, and I make sure I have a properly vented helmet, and I actually got a giant hole in my pantalones right here, so I got some nice ventilation. Please help me, I need more gear. But it's not just, you know, the weather and hitting you, so it's like, it's not just the water, and then the snow, it's cold. The wind is difficult to drive or ride in. You know, the hot, and I'm all sweaty. But remember, it also affects the road itself. You know, if it has an icy road, it's pretty dangerous with two wheels. With four wheels, a lot safer. There's sometimes way better traction control on these tires, on cars and on trucks and all that stuff. And then you got AC for the heat, and you got heaters for the cold. The wind isn't that big of a deal comparatively to a motorcycle. So once again, riding sometimes sucks, and driving sometimes is better. All right, guys. Next thing. One sec, I gotta check, make sure I don't die. All right, so next thing. Oh yeah! Once again, I talked about that was one of the biggest things is that motorcycles are more fun. Anyways, the next thing is less space. I'm wearing a backpack. Okay, I had to bring a tripod for a previous video, and I couldn't fit my normal tripod, so I had to make some crazy one. And if I was in a car, I could carry as much stuff as I want. I can carry all this stuff, but then again, I don't be making motorcycle videos. I also have saddlebags. Finally got these, lifesavers. Cars and trucks, even the smallest of cars and the smallest of trucks have way more space than a motorcycle. That can come very handy, especially when you're trying to go grocery shopping, especially when you're trying to go do anything. And honestly, you can actually transport more friends on a car, or in a car. Who knew, right? Next one, safety concerns. I'm wearing full gear, AT-GAT, okay? All the gear, all the time. PPE, full personal protective equipment. I'm gonna start saying that. Full protective equipment. So anyways, I'm wearing a full helmet, I'm wearing gloves, I'm wearing pants, I'm wearing a jacket, I'm wearing all those things. Even then, it's not as safe as being in a car. I'm gonna tell you why. Well, first of all, the car itself, the vehicle itself, that is the personal protective equipment. It has crumple zones so that it absorbs impact, it absorbs the G-forces, it absorbs all those things. On top of that, you have a seatbelt, which will keep you in line. It'll make it so you don't go flying. Because another thing is that if you get hit by a car, or if you crash solo on a motorcycle, it's just not the impact itself. My voice changed? I'm going through puberty. It's not just the impact. You're gonna go flying, for more than likely. You can go sliding across the ground. You got other things you got to deal with. In a car, you don't really have to deal with that, other than, you know, projectiles inside your car, like your cell phone hitting you in the head. But you also have airbags when you're in a car, hopefully. Okay, so depending on the impact, you know, frontal impact airbags will kind of pop off on a car. It won't pop off on a side impact if you have frontal airbags. But nowadays they have those freaking window airbags. They have airbags in the A and B, C posts, all those things. So it's really cool, very safe, very safe. Okay, I would highly recommend driving if you're very concerned about safety, because in my Only Fools Ride Motorcycles video, I talk about this. You have to be a fool to take this extra risk. You really have to. There's nothing that says, hey guys, riding a motorcycle is safer than driving a car. That is not true, and it will never be true, because at the end of the day, if you make a motorcycle look like a car, it's gonna be a car now with two tires. So I mean, with all that protection, it's not gonna work. So you definitely want to be driving a car if you want to be more safety oriented. But if you want to help mitigate that risk, and you want to you know, be a part of the motorcycling community, wear full gear, get the proper training. That right there will save your life more so than, you know, buying an exhaust, buying new grips, buying new handlebar. Getting the proper training is more important. That's why we have to do it. I see girls with this problem, or I see dudes with long hair with this problem. We get helmet head, or that wind-blown look. All right, so helmet head, your hair gets screwed up. So if you're like riding to work, there's no way you're ever gonna have like properly done hair unless you do it at work. You're just not gonna have I don't have to deal with that. I'm bald, but one thing I do get is helmet beard. Helmet beard is life altering, and it's very scary, and it's something I'm trying to deal with, and I would really appreciate it if you guys wouldn't talk bad about my beard sometimes on live streams, because I try really hard, okay? Some states, they require helmets, so you're gonna have to do it. California especially, they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you if you don't wear a helmet, so wear a helmet in California. Arizona, we don't require the use of helmets. In fact, you can ride absolutely butt naked on your motorcycle, and all you need is a pair of sunglasses or eye protection. That's it. That is all that's required as a motorcycle rider. Once again, I've talked about this, you're probably gonna get a ticket for indecent exposure, but you won't get a ticket for not wearing the proper gear. So in California, you gotta wear a helmet, you're gonna mess up your beard, you're gonna mess up your hair, you're gonna mess up your makeup, all those things. That's why being in a car sometimes is just nice, because you do all your stuff before getting in the car. Do not do your makeup in the car. You definitely want to get it all done, and then you won't get all sweaty, you won't get all nasty, and then when you get to work or wherever you need to go, you're gonna look good. But if you like that look of a messy bedhead and you messed up beard, once again, don't make fun of me, then you're in luck. Wear a helmet while riding your bike. Licensing requirements, man, it is a little bit extra. All right, so let's just take Arizona for example. For Arizona, if you want to drive a vehicle, if you want to drive a car, you got to take the rules of the road test, and then you got to take the practical test at 16 years old, or 18, but 16 years old, and that's it. That's it. Now, if you want to get a motorcycle endorsement, you got to take the rules of the road test, you got to take a motorcycle written test, and then you got to take a motorcycle practical test. So that's a little bit extra, and it's harder. So at the end of the day, you still have to learn the rules of the road and kind of get an understanding of how things work, like signals, right turn only, stop signs, what these mean, what those don't mean. And then on top of that, you have to take a motorcycle test where you're familiar with the motorcycle, familiar with how to make yourself safe on the motorcycle, and then you got to take a test. There's a lot more, okay? So there's a lot more that's involved with motorcycling and the licensing requirements. The one thing that the saving grace, okay? And I'm talking about state of Arizona, take a class out here with me at Ride Arizona MTC. It's an MSF BRC 1 class you can take. And what that is, it's a 2-day class with an e-course, which is like a class online that you take at your house. You go and you take the MSF BRC 1 test with me, and I teach you both days. I teach you both days, I coach you both days to get you prepared to ride a motorcycle. Then we take the test. You take that card. If you pass, you take your BRC 1 card to the DMV, say, hey, give me my endorsement, yo. And then they'll give it to you after you sign some paperwork. But you don't have to take the test. You don't have to take the written test there. You don't have to take the practical there. You take it with me. Who would you rather have it? Take it with the sloth from that one movie, I forgot the name, please don't hurt me. Or would you rather take it with me? Just saying. These are some reasons why cars are better than motorcycles. But then at the end of the day, motorcycles are still better. Yeah, boy!